Okay, so today we are going to look at geometry, the introduction to it. So geo meaning earth and metry to measure. It's measuring the earth or measurements. And so we're going to look at the basic concepts, all of which were incorporated into this building here, the Greek Parthenon, built in the 5th century BC, so a very old building. And so we're going to look at how geometry was used here, the different concepts of geometry needed. Okay, so here we're going to look at planes, lines, line segments and rays and see what all of these are about. So the first thing, I suppose, a plane, not like an airplane, but a plane is any 2D object. So it's a flat 2D or two-dimensional surface, exactly like this screen that I'm writing on here. And a plane, so if I was to draw a sample of a plane here, a plane is made up of lots of different points. Okay, and we could label all of these. In fact, there's an infinite amount. It means there's so many we actually can't count them. It goes on forever, E, F, G, and so on. So they're all points that make up a plane. Okay, so that's... Now we could have a line, and a line is, well, we're used to drawing lines. In order to draw a line, I need exactly 2 points. I could have more, but I need at least 2 points first. So if I have this point here, A, and I have another point, B, then my line, and so here I have a line here and I need to put it in. It goes in between those 2 points. And in fact, only one line can go between those 2 points. But that line isn't complete yet, because a line basically, even though we can't see all the ends of it, it goes on forever in both directions. And that's what's really important about a line. Now, what we're used to calling a line is in fact a line segment. And so we'd say here. So a line segment, on the other hand, is like a part of a line. So here we'll draw the line segment CD. And so there's my point C and my point D, or here's C. And here the line segment then, it begins at C and it ends at D. And it's a straight line between the two of them. Okay, so a nice straight line, you'll be using a ruler. Okay, so that's a line segment. And then, so it has 2 endpoints, whereas a line goes on forever in both directions. Okay. Lastly, then, we're going to look at is a ray. Okay. An array has 1 endpoint and 1 part that goes on forever. So this could be the point E here, and I could have the point F here. An array might begin at E and go on forever from F. Okay, so that's array, or it could do the other way around. And so depending on where it begins, if it begins at E, we would write it like this, with a square bracket beside the E and an F to show that it goes on forever here. Here, for the line segment, we'd write that as our square bracket here, and CD and a square bracket at the other. It shows it's closed in, whereas here for our line we would have just said AB, just like that. Okay, now let's move on and look at angles. Okay, so here we're going to look at different types of angles, and you'd have done a lot of this in primary school. So here, if I have 2 lines and this angle in between them, well, this, clearly this area here, it's less than 90 degrees. Okay, so because it's nice and small, it's very acute, and so we call it an acute angle. Then here, if we have this angle here where where it's 90 degrees, then we know that that's called a right angle. Okay, and here if we have an angle that is bigger than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees, so like this angle here, we call that an obtuse angle. Okay, when it's bigger than 90 degrees but less than 180, we call that an obtuse angle. Here, if I have a straight line and an angle over it here, for example, that's exactly 180 degrees. Okay? So that is called a straight angle. So there's my acute, my right angle, my obtuse angle, and my straight angle up to 180 degrees. And we're just going to look at two more types. So here, if we have, and I bet you know this kind of angle here, where it's, say for example, something like that. So it's more than 180 degrees, but less than 360 degrees. So this angle here that I've shaded in, so it's bigger than obtuse. We call that a reflex angle. And then lastly, if here we have a line like this and it goes the whole way around, so it's 360 degrees, well, we call that a full angle. Okay, so make sure that you sketch each of these into your copy and label them correctly. So pause the video now to do so. Okay, so I also need to be able to label angles or to name them so that I can distinguish, and I could say, see which type of angle is which. So say for example here I have a right angled triangle. Now if I want to label this angle here, okay, this one that I've shaded in, okay, so it's the angle that's at A. But if I want to be really precise about the name for it, I can say, well, angle A, and I draw that little shape. Or, really importantly, I say, well, that angle is between these two lines. So it's from C to A to B. So I would say that. So it's angle C, A, B. Or I could say it is also the angle between B, A, and C. So it's the same both ways around. B, A, C. If I was to deal with my right angle here, the angle that's at C, I would say that is angle. So it goes from here, A to C to B. So it's ACB. Angle ACB. Or it could go the other way around. It's from B to C to A. So it would be angle BCA. Now pause the video here and see, can you figure out what this angle here would be at angle B? So pause it here, write it down, and then have a look and see, did you get it right? So here angle B, well, did you get it right? Angle B is equal to angle ABC or angle CBA. So what is really interesting, or what we hopefully have noticed here, is that each time, what do we see? That A was here and A was in the middle here and A was in the middle here. We were looking at C this time and C was in the middle. This time we were looking at B and B was in the middle. Okay, so really important that we're able to write an angle at a point in terms of its three sides. Okay, similarly, if I had a rectangle, so here's my rectangle ABCD, and if I want to look and see this angle here, so the angle at B, well, that is still equal to angle ABC or angle CBA. And lastly, if I want to look at this angle here, that would be angle ADC or it would be angle D, oops, no, D has to be in the middle, so angle CDA. Okay, so they're the possibilities. All right, now let's have a look and see how we would find the value of different angles. Now, so the instrument that we use is called a protractor, okay? But we can't always use a protractor to measure things, but if we did, we would have our protractor here, and in it you can see there's numbers on the inside and there's numbers on the outside and bigger, and numbers on the inside, and they're going the opposite direction. So here on this protractor, the 0 starts here and it goes 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, all the way up to 180. Whereas here on the inside numbers, it starts here 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. So it doesn't matter what side you measure from. Anyway, what we're concerned about now is if we can't measure it with a protractor, but we have, say, a picture like this. Well, I know, what does all of this have to be? So if I go back to my type of angle, I know all of that, it's a straight angle, so it's 180 degrees. So what would I say? That x plus 120 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. So using my algebra, I know if I take away 120 here and I take away 120 here, that x is going to be equal to, well, 180 take away 120 is 60 degrees. Okay, so it's just a little bit of algebra really. And these two angles here that add together to give 180 degrees, they're called supplementary angles. Okay, another type of angle. Supplementary angles. Okay, we're going to do another example now for finding the size of an angle. Okay, so well, if I look here, I see that this angle here is a right angle, which means it's 90 degrees. Okay, which means that this angle here is also a right angle. So, and also has to be equal to 90 degrees. Okay, so if I say here, what have I got here where x is? I have all of this space here, don't I? Okay, so I can say that 2x plus 30 degrees is equal to my 90 degrees. And again, just like what I've been doing in algebra, we want to get x on its own. So this time we say minus 30 and here minus 30. They'll cancel and I get 2x is equal to, well, 90 take away 30 is 60 degrees. So here to get x on its own, I divide by 2. And here to get x, I divide by 2 on the other side of the equals because I've done it on one side. So they've cancelled and now I get x is equal to 30 degrees. And that's my answer. Okay. And we'll just look at one last example. Okay, and so here in this question, I can see, well, I have a full angle. So I have 360 degrees here. Okay, so if I want to solve this, I am going to begin and I'm going to say, well, 4x plus 2x plus 3x plus x plus 6x is equal to 360 degrees. So just counting up how many x's I have here, well, 4x plus 2x is 6x, plus 3x is 9x, plus x is 10x, plus 6x is a total of 16x, which I say is equal to 360 degrees. And so now if I want to find x, well, here I need to divide by 16 to get it. on its own, and so here I'll divide by 16, and so I get x, because they've cancelled, is equal to 22.5 degrees, and that's my answer for that. Now if I'm asked to mark off the size of each angle, then I would go back and say that x is equal to 22.5, and so 2x is equal to 2 times 22.5, which is 45 degrees, and that 3x is equal to 3 times 22.5, which is 67.5 degrees. And I would say that 4x is equal to 4 times 22.5 degrees, which is 90 degrees. And then 6x is equal to 6 times 22.5 degrees, which is 135 degrees. And if I wanted to check, I can just add all of those together, 22.5 plus 45 plus 67.5 plus 90 plus 135 together, and see, does that give me 360 degrees? And then I know I'm correct. Okay, so that's our basics for geometry. Make sure that you have all the notes from this video down, as they're going to be important as we go forward. Okay.